What did ancient humans do when they were bored? You're sitting inside a cave 50,000 years ago. The morning hunt is over. You've eaten. Your tools are repaired. The fire is burning and the sun won't set for hours. Now what? No phone, no books, no television, no internet, just time. When we imagine prehistoric life, we picture constant danger, hunting animals, escaping predators, struggling to survive every minute. But survival wasn't a full-time job every single day. The real question isn't how ancient humans stayed alive. It's what they did after survival was already taken care of. Did they ever feel bored? Surprisingly, yes. Scientists now see boredom as a biological signal, much like hunger or thirst. It tells the brain that it's time to seek something new. That feeling didn't begin with modern life. It evolved long before farming, cities, or writing. Evidence comes from modern hunter-gatherer groups such as the Hadza people of Tanzania, whose lifestyle resembles that of our distant ancestors. Researchers found that the Hadza experience boredom too. They even have their own word for it. Boredom isn't a modern problem. It's part of being human. This discovery also challenges another common myth, that prehistoric people spent every waking hour searching for food. Anthropologists studying hunter-gatherer societies found that many adults often spent only 3 to 5 hours a day hunting, gathering, making tools, and maintaining shelters. The rest of the day was free. Anthropologist Marshall Salins called hunter-gatherers the original affluent society, not because they owned many things, but because they often had something many people lack today: time. So how did they spend those hours? First, they talked. They shared stories about the day's hunt, laughed at mistakes, discussed friendships, and exchanged news. In other words, they gossiped. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar found that most human conversation isn't about facts. It's about people. This kind of conversation strengthened relationships and helped groups cooperate. For humans, talking became the social glue that replaced the grooming seen in chimpanzees. As evening arrived and everyone gathered around the fire, conversation became storytelling. Stories entertained, but they also taught valuable lessons. They explained successful hunts, warned about dangerous animals, preserved memories, and helped children learn. Research on the San people of southern Africa suggests that skilled storytellers helped build stronger, more cooperative communities. Long before books or movies, a fire and a good storyteller were enough. When the stories ended, the fun didn't stop. People played games. Adults raced, wrestled, threw stones at targets, and challenged one another. Some games improved hunting skills. Others were simply enjoyable. Archaeologists have even discovered ancient carved objects that may have been used as game pieces. Thousands of years ago, someone probably argued about the rules of a game just as we do today. Then there was music. One of the oldest known musical instruments is a flute carved from a vulture's wing bone about 40,000 years ago. But music almost certainly began much earlier with clapping, singing, drumming, and rhythm. Where there was music, there was dancing. Every known human culture dances. Modern science shows that moving together increases trust and strengthens social bonds. Our ancestors didn't know the biology. They simply knew it brought people together. Perhaps the greatest surprise is that prehistoric humans also created things with no practical purpose. Deep inside caves, artists painted animals, handprints, and mysterious symbols in places where sunlight never reached. Others carved beautiful figurines from bone and ivory. Some even shaped tools with perfect symmetry when rougher ones would have worked just as well. Beauty mattered. Creativity mattered. The desire to make something special is far older than civilization. Curiosity filled many quiet moments too. Nearly 20,000 years ago, someone carved rows of tiny marks into what we now call the Ashango bone. Some researchers believe it may represent an early counting system or even a lunar calendar. Imagine that person. No emergency. No deadline. Just someone wondering whether numbers matched the changing moon. That simple curiosity may have been one small step toward mathematics and science. Exploration was another answer to boredom. People often wandered beyond familiar places simply to see what was over the next hill. Most journeys revealed nothing unusual. But sometimes they discovered new water sources, better hunting grounds, or safer routes. Curiosity rewarded those willing to explore. That same restless desire eventually carried humans across every continent. And, thousands of generations later, to the moon. So what did ancient humans do when they were bored? They talked. They told stories. They played games. They made music. They danced. They created art. They explored. They wondered. In many ways, they spent their free time exactly as our brains evolved to do. Today we carry endless entertainment in our pockets, yet boredom still follows us. Maybe boredom was never the enemy. Maybe it has always been an invitation. Because some of humanity's greatest discoveries didn't begin during moments of constant activity. They began during quiet afternoons, when there was nothing urgent to do, except ask one simple question: what if?